Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning to go over 3 features to consider for your upcoming courses this spring. Today, we're going to jump in right here, and we're going to take a peek at these 3 features, which include our assignment reminders, requiring students to complete practice, and adding notes into the Learn screen pages for your students. If we're going to first start with the reminders. And if you come into the Tools tab here and go into Communications, you're going to see reminders down here at the bottom of the page. Once you click on reminders, you'll have your section or sections. You can create one template and share it with all your sections if you're teaching multiple courses. I have my one section right here, and we can see that there's no template assigned currently. So I'm going to come in here, click on my section, and create this reminders template. The first thing you want to do is name this template so you can use it for this semester and future semesters as well. I'm just going to name this demo reminders. And we have a few different reminders down below. So one, you can set up some reminders for the certifications or those lessons. You can also set up reminders if you're assigning web tests to your students. You can even assign reminders for any other assignments you might be assigning outside of Hawks. So the first one I'm going to do is check off this box that says send a reminder blank days before certification is due. Once I check this box off, I'm going to say maybe I'm going to want to remind my students 2 days before a certification is due. If any of your students have not completed this lesson or certification yet, they're going to receive this automated email to their email that's associated with their Hawks account. Everything in here that has the brackets is going to be customized to the student's name, due date, lesson name, and it's even going to sign your name at the bottom, so it looks like it's more of a personalized email rather than an automated message. You guys can customize the wording in here as well if you want to just kind of tweak it and make it sound even more personable to you. And if you'd like to, you can also do the same thing for web tests. So if you're assigning a quiz or a test, any kind of web test, you can also do a similar reminder where you can do 2 days before web test ends, and you'll see a similar message down below, and everything in the brackets will fill out according to the test name, end date, lesson, and I'll even sign your name. I think this can be a great tool to help your students stay on track. I think it's very important as well, especially in the online learning environment as well. So once I have this set up, I'm just going to click on Save Changes. And now this reminders template is assigned to my section. So the next feature we're going to look at is requiring students to complete practice. So if I go to the Assignments tab, and I'm going to come down to our curriculum right here. So that in the curriculum, this is where you can edit settings for the lessons that you're assigning to your students. So we have my Spring 2021 demo course again. Currently, I'm using the default curriculum, so I'm going to click into here. Since I'm using the default curriculum, the first thing I'm going to want to do is just name this. So I'm just going to name this Demo 2021, and I'm going to save my changes here. So now that I have this demo curriculum that's assigned to my section, we can start impacting some of the settings here. So if we want to require practice, you're going to want to look at this setting right here. Allow students to unsuccessfully attempt certified blank times before requiring practice. If I check this box off, this will allow my students to jump right into certify one time in this example. If they're unsuccessful, we're going to want to bring them back into that practice mode, and you can adjust how much of that practice they need to complete. So by default, it's going to go to 80%. You can change this to 90%. You can change this to 75%. But if you do this, so a student could try certify one time. If they don't get it on that first try, they'll have to come back in here, and then they'll have to complete 75% of the practice before they can jump back into certify again. This will just help your students engage with the learning aids within practice, and hopefully that can get them fewer attempts in that certified mode. And the last feature we're going to take a peek at, I'm going to save these changes real quick. But the last feature we're going to take a peek at today is just adding notes into the Learn mode. If you want to add any of your own notes into the Learn Screen pages. You can come down here and we can see that once I saved my changes under this curriculum, now that all of our lessons are going to be hyperlinked down below. So if I wanted to jump into lesson 1.1, Introduction to Whole Numbers, our lesson builder tool is going to open up in a new window. And from here, I'm going to scroll back up to the top of the page, and we have this little gear icon right here, and it'll show you a drop-down menu. So the first thing I would want to do if I want to add in my own notes to the Learn Screen pages for lesson 1.1, I'd click on the gear icon and then click on Open Learn. Once I click on Open Learn, we're going to see all the Learn Screen pages that are within this given lesson here. So you can see that we have our objectives page right here, just how every lesson starts off. But what you'll notice down below is going to be a text box. You'll see if we'll skip through these previous and next buttons, and each page is going to have this text box down below. So if you wanted to add in your own notes on whole numbers, for example, you could type in some definitions, some notes, some key talking points that you might have that you've created, and you can input these into the Learn Screen pages for your students. It could be, you can add in quite a bit of detail, or you can type in just key reminders to your students to pay attention to the decimal system. You can put in just a key note like that, just to keep your students engaged and make sure that they're paying attention to your notes that you're adding in as well. If you save these changes now, the notes that you add in are going to appear towards the bottom of the page. Another thing you can also do on these Learn Screen pages is if you're not covering a certain topic within these Learn Screen pages, you can hide the screen. So then your students won't have to skip around to find the relevant content that you're teaching. And then lastly, if you typed in a few amount of notes down below, you can also click Replace Screen Page. So then all the instructional content above will be hidden, and what will appear is the notes that you have added in. So those are a couple options that you can use to really customize the Learn Screen pages for your students and to keep them engaged within the lesson material. Those are the 3 features to consider for this spring. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them into that Q&A portion on the Zoom link. And I hope you all have a great semester. And if there's anything that we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out to your training support representative.